Podíváme se na midseason patch preview, jo? New items, crit item revamp, removed runes and more. Jako jestli Snappy nadává na AD carry, že jsou OP, momentálně, tak já bych mu doporučoval 2 věci. Za A, dát si challenge, aby dal master tier v AD carry, v solo queue. Já bych pak typoval, jak dlouho to vydrží. Jestli to vydrží díl jak 2 dny, jak Cadel to vydržel, tak ty vole huge respect. A za druhé, doporučoval bych mu se podívat na ten mid-season patch preview, aby věděl, co ho čeká. Protože jestli teď nadává na to, že jsou AD OP, tak nevím, co bude dělat v tomhletom patchi. V tomhletom patchi budou AD OP, OK?
Some absolutely massive news. A lot of changes are coming to the PvE, lethal tempo is getting removed for example, crit items are gonna have 25% crit instead of 20, then we also have changes to the ghost. Riot thinks ghost is too good, we even have some new added items to the game. Almost every single Marksman item got changed, as you can see for example here, Phantom Dancer no longer has AD, the values got changed all over, for example.
Infinity Edge, 80 AD místo 65! 25 krytů místo 20! Jebe ti!
Has AD, the values got changed all.
Jak je to OP ten We're back! We're back! AD is back!
Over, for example, Mercurial Scimitar has lifesteal now and doesn't have crit anymore. And then you have Bloodthirster that has more stats, but it has no crit. A lot of
80 AD! 80% lifesteal! Overheal! We're back!
changes. I'm going to show you all of that in this video, so stay tuned. So let's get started with Riot's article. In here they discuss the changes, because currently we're getting the mid-season changes. The season is divided into 3 splits. So right now with the split 2, Riot is doing medium-sized gameplay changes. They are currently live on PvE, but they will hit the live servers in just 2 weeks. So you better get familiar with them. Let's get started with rune changes. So as you can already see here, lethal tempo has been removed. In its place, we didn't get a new keystone, but we have press the attack that has been changed. So right now press the attack works until the end of the combat. So when it...
Prosím, řekni mi, že tenhle patch je finále. Jo! Let's go! 14:10, finální kolo. Jestli se dostaneme do finále, tak dám takový turbo 1, moshpit 1v9 s těma itemama, že se všichni zeserou, kámo. Ještě škoda, že není semíčko na 14:10. Škoda, že není semíčko. Škoda, že není semíčko na 14:10. Ty vole, já bych vám ukázal, co je OP AD carry. Škoda. Počkej, semíčko je... Oh. Semíčko je na... Baby, let's go! Semíčko! Playoff je na 14:10! Stojí mi péro. Stojí mi péro. Top 4 je na patchu 14:10, kdy bude OP AD.
procs after 3 attacks, it will last until the end of the combat. So this is basically going to be less burst and more consistent damage. This is absolutely massive for champions like Yone, Yasuo, Jinx, Xayah. And then another rune in the precision tree that is changed is that we lost overheal. And in its place, we have absorb life. So what does absorb life do? It heals you when you kill the enemy. So this is supposedly going to be a sustain for the later parts of the game. And another change to the runes is that Legend Tenacity got removed and now we got Legend Haste. So we basically get ability haste
Nice.
on takedowns.
Tohle byla, kámo, tak operu, na kterou nemohli abuzovat AD carry, ale všichni ostatní to mohli abuzovat. Legends Tenacity, ty jsi měl Tenacity za miniony. Za to, že prostě si zabil miniony, tak si měl Tenacity. To bylo tak broken a oni to removenuli. Friku, já tě zbožňuju, Friku. Tank! On staví 2 tanky, temy, ty kokoté! To není AD carry!
Děda si nevzal prášky. Tak a Faded Ashes. Dealing damage with abilities causes enemies to burn.
tank! On staví 2 tanky temy, ty kokoté! To není AD carry!
50 rezistenci. Děda si nevzal prášky.
Ale jak to vzal úplně v klidu, ne? Jak tam prostě... Děda si nevzal prášky. Poslouchej ty kokotko.
Hotorgery donate 50 korun českých. Si blazen s těmi reakcemi umírám, ale nejvíc je dinosaur.
Do hajzlu.
1.5 ability haste for every legend
Hejtr, díky za
stack.
páďo.
Up to 10 stacks, so we can get 15 ability haste from legend haste. The cutdown rune also got a rework. Right now it does 8% more damage to champions who have more than 60% max HP. And then we have one more major rune. Rune changes is that Predator has been removed. There's pretty much no compensation for it, but Predator has been pretty lackluster in the
Je to buff?
recent times,
Nemám tu jakýho Alberta Einsteina, co to vypočítá, jestli to buff nebo
so
ne.
that doesn't really surprise me. There are also some more rune changes. The Ingenious Hunter has been removed, and we also got plenty of the changes to the Inspiration tree. So we now got the new rune cashback. It gets some gold back when you
Jsem si
purchase.
dal Red Bull na prázdný žaludek. Hej, já se omlouvám všem. Sorry, já jsem hypnutý. Red Bull na prázdný žaludek plus ty vole buffnutý AD carry. Zjistil jsem, že ten turnaj se bude hrát na Titan patchi, kde AD carry bude OP. Prostě omlouvám se všem, omlouvám se Riotu za prostý slova, omlouvám se Snapům za prostý slova, já jsem hypnutý jako kot.
And it replaces the triple tonic that got moved to the row 2, and the triple tonic that got moved here replaces the futures market. So futures market is no longer here. And then we got another new rune in this inspiration tree. This is Jack of all trades, and it replaces the time warp tonic on row 3. And time warp trying, by the way, moved to row 2 to replace the minion dematerializer. So minion dematerializer and then futures market are completely removed. And here we have the new rune, Jack of all trades. For each different stat gained from items, gain 1 Jack stack. Each stack grants you 1 ability haste. Gain bonus adaptive force at 5 and 10 stacks. We also have the rework to Font of Life rune. So when you disturb the enemy of enemy champions, you can restore health to you and your nearby allies with the lowest health. Alrighty, so we just got into the game and let's test the press the attack right now. So how does it work? 91, and then you get a little burst, and then consistently until the end of the combat you will have extra bonus damage. We also got few completely new items to the game, like Overlord's Bloodmail, that gives you 40 AD, 500 health, and gains 2% of your bonus health as attack damage. So this is kind of similar to the old Atmos Impaler, and also gains up to 10% increased attack damage based on your percent missing health. I think this can be a pretty cool build for Mundo. Mundo may be able to cook. And the build path is hilarious with 2 tunnelers. Then we have new AP item, Fated Ashes. It gives you 40 AP for just 900 gold, and dealing damage with abilities causes enemies to burn for 7 magic damage per second or 3 seconds. This damage increases by 20 per second to monsters. This item builds to a completely new item, Blackfire Torch, 90 AP, 600 mana, 25 ability haste. Dealing damage with abilities causes an enemy to burn for 21 magic damage per second for 3 seconds, and this damage is increased by 20 per second to monsters. Also, the Blackfire passive, for each enemy champion, epic monster, and large monster affected by your Baleful Blaze, so the burn that I just mentioned, you gain 4% ability power. So let me demonstrate with that Blackfire effect.
Nezajímá, kde jsou AD
As they
itemy.
say, each enemy champion, epic monster, and large monster are affected by your passive, gains you 4 AP. Here we have 3.
Počkat. Blackfire Torch, ten název se mi nelíbí. Mně to připomíná jistý item. Co to dělá ten item? Počkej, teď jsem zpozorněl, protože teďka potřebuji vidět, co to dělá. Dealing damage with ability causes enemies to burn for 24 magic damage per second for 3 seconds. For each enemy champion, epic monster and large monster affected by your Baleful Blaze gain 4% ability power. Tak to je OP sračka. Tohle je OP.
Gives you 4 AP. Here we have 3 targets, and my AP went from 108 to 121, so it increased by 12%. Let's try to do it with a large monster. You see my...
Ještě si k tomu postav death cap a budeš mít 3000 AP, hej?
AP also increased. I think this mechanic is gonna be very interesting in League of Legends. We also got some symbiotic souls. So
No to snad ne. No to snad ne. Kámo, tohle je tak broken pro supporty a možná i junglery. Your recall is in power. Takže ty máš 4 vteřinový recall, ne 8 vteřinový recall s těma botama. A potom, co uběhneš 150 000 units of distance, ty boty se evolvnou. To je zajímavý. Pro supporta to může být OP.
So quest boots that empower your recall. I don't really know what's about them. And then we have Zephyr. Zephyr can be upgraded from Berserkers. And then we have Zephyr.
Prostě sleduj, to ti dá 40 attack speedu a 65 movement speedu a reduce the effectiveness of slow by 20%. Ale kolik to stojí? 3400 to stojí.
Zephyr can
Ze 45 movement speedu dash
be upgraded from Berserker.
na 65. Ale je to last item. Je to až když máš 6 itemů, hej? Tohle je v podstatě až když máš 6 itemů, tak to upgradeneš. Protože to stojí strašně moc peněz. Stojí to 3100 upgrade bot, který stojí 3100 a reálně to ti nedá. To je reálně, že prostě postavíš, abys byl potom v late game a když máš 6 itemů, full itemů. Takže to zas tak OP není, ale furt je to dobré, když jsi v situaci, když jsi v 30. minutě a máš 6 itemů a nemáš co kupovat, abys byl silnější. 5% attack speedu a 20 movement speedu plus 20% redukce effectiveness of slow za 3100 goldů není worth. Jo, to je 2k gold upgrade. Jo. To furt není worth, ale...
It unlocks at level 15, 40% attack speed, 65 movement speed. I mean, AD carries are gonna be really happy about this item. I don't really see
Yes, I'm happy.
I don't really see upgrades to the other items, so this one is gonna be pretty crazy. Here we have Yuntal Wild Arrows. It gives you...
Co? Yonta, Wind Arrow. Yonta, Wind Arrow. 65 AD, 25 critical strike chance a Big Sting. Critical attacks deal 61 additional damage over 2 seconds. Huh? To má Dravenovu starou pasivku, kámo. To má Draven pasivku. Džinnův item? Ano, Džinnův item. Tohle bude dobrý Džinnův item, tohle bude nice.
65 AD and 25%.
Kámo, Draven bude OP na tom patchi jak blázen, kámo. Už ten Draven bude tak broken na tom patchi.
Critical chance. It builds off pickaxe and non-quiver. So non-quiver got pretty changed because...
Škoda, že ti ho zabanuj. Jejda, tady je zase jeden z těch 4 koučů pro Teamsterak. Já jsem zaslíknul, co budu hrát.
Right now it's basically 25 AD and 20% critical strike.
Hej, vy máte směny, já budu streamovat 14 hodin denně a pak jako jeden coach bude 4 hodiny, druhý další 4 hodiny a pak další trenér si tam prostě střelí 3 a 3 hodiny na mém streamu, abyste jako všechno sledovali a všechno si zapisovali do deníčku, abyste věděli, nebo... Nebo jak to máte, protože už se tady vystřídali 3 trenéři zatím. Nebo 2 trenéři se tu vystřídali už. U mě.
So this item scales with 35% total AD.
Tohle je huge, hej.
Let me show you how that's gonna be when I crit. Okay, I crit and it does...
Jediný, co mě zajímá, jestli se to stakuje, infinitely stakuje jako Draven Old pasivka, nebo se to nestakuje.
extra damage over time. So this can be pretty good for some extra damage on top of having crit and a lot of damage. So pretty cool item. So Phantom
Nestakuje se to. Boring.
Dancer is 2600 now, not 2800.
Kamole, představ si, že ty budeš mít prostě, sleduj jo, ty budeš mít Zephyr, upgradelý boty a postavíš k tomu Phantom Dancer. Kolik budeš mít movement speedu? Ty budeš mít hrozně moc movement speedu.
It doesn't have AD, it has 60% attack speed. Also the passive got removed from it, so now you only get ghosted. So you have 60% attack speed, and remember 25% crit and 12% movement speed, but 25% crit. So what I was saying at the beginning is that all crit items, as you can see right now, have 25% crit. This is absolutely massive. We're back to the
Double 2 item power spike. Už nemusíš farmit 3 itemy jak kokot v solo queue. Už ti stačí jenom 2 a máš impact. Let's go! To je mega dobrá změna, protože reálně v solo queue ty jsi úplně k hovnu do té doby, než máš 3 itemy. Jenže v solo queue, když ty postavíš 3 itemy za AD, tak ta hra už je lost. Ta hra je reálně lost. Takže teďka budeš mít 2 itemy.
good old times where the crit items had
Můj bože, a když vidím Infinity Edge z 80 AD a BT z 80 AD. Friku, já tě miluju. Já tě zbožňuju.
25% crit. Okay, what about changes to the other items? Well,
Hej, on prostě, on je bůh, kámo. On prostě nejen, že vrátí AD carry, AD damage, že mají prostě 80 AD na itemech, ale ještě vrátí Corkyho na botlane. Já jsem zbožný. Corky byl můj jeden z nejoblíbenějších AD carryček. Corky, víte, jak jsem byl nasranej, když z něj udělali midaře, a ne, protože ono to bylo AD celou dobu. Corky byl AD carry. A oni z něj udělali midaře, já jsem byl tak nasranej.
let me first go with the fact that Stormraiser is no longer in the game, and also the Kirch's Heart is also not in the game. They both have been removed. So then we go to Blade of the Ruined King. Although components remain the same, the statistics have been changed. So from 40 to 55 AD, from 25 to 30 attack speed, and from 8% to 10% lifesteal. But the attacks that apply extra enemy health from physical damage on hit are reduced. So for ranged it's 6%, it used to be 9%, and for melee I assume it also got decreased. And then the passive Clawing Shadows, when you attack a champion 3 times, it slows, but then by 30% when you are ranged right now, and it used to be 15, so I guess maybe the slow got buffed a little bit here. So the next item we have on the list is Kraken Slayer.
40 attack speed, 50 attack damage a 7 movement speed.
As you can probably tell, it no longer has
A tenhle peč se hraje. Ten turnaj se hraje, ten turnaj se hraje na tomhle peči.
has critical chance, and right now it has 50 AD, so 10 more, 40% attack speed, so 5 more, and it also gives you 7% movement.
Hej, ale tohle je reálně, co fakt jako AD carry potřebovali, no joke, já jsem říkal, jak předtím, než jsem viděl tohle video, tak já říkám, kámo, není možný, aby top laner, který má 7000 HP a one-shotoval tě jedním spelem, tak není možný, aby on měl 450 movement speedu, když ty máš 370. Ty tam běžíš, jak kdyby ti zlomili v obě nohy. Běžíš tam jako vole postižený, prostě a přiběhne tam cápek, co má 7k HP, 60krát rychleji. Prostě ty, sleduj, AD carry, jo, AD carry na tomhle patchu. Orn, co má vážit 50 tun. Piča, pojď sem! Prostě chápeš, vole, jak to máš kajtit? Jak to máš kajtit? To se nedá hrát, vole. A tohle právě je super, že máš movement speed na každém itemu, chápeš? Prostě díky bohu, teďka se to bude dát kajtit, ten tank, co má 7000 KHP a dá ti one shot jedním autotekem.
Speed. As you can tell, the components also got changed. You no
Připomeňte mi, že si nemám dávat Red Bull na prázdný žaludek.
longer have Cloak and Noonquiver, instead you have Rectrix, and you have the Harbound Axe. The damage this item does seems to be the same, but right now it increases up to 150% based on their missing health. So the less enemies have HP, the more damage you will deal.
The fuck? Kalista?
This is different than it currently was,
Kalista
which was
item.
basically increasing the damage if you kept attacking the same target for a few seconds. What is also important is that the item is 100 gold more. It may not be much, but it's just worth noting. I think with crit items giving 25% crit instead of 20, this is probably a good decision to have Kraken Slayer or Phantom Dancer be a
To je Kalista,
crit-less
Varus
items.
item.
Also, this
No,
would
no,
be
no.
a pretty cool idea to play on hit without needing to go crit. So there will be
No, to
more
je Varus
on-hit
item,
builds
Kalista
viable
item.
without going crit.
Kog'Maw item.
So right now Terminus,
Kog'Maw
instead
fauna.
of having 40 AD and 30% attack speed, it has 35 AD and 35% attack speed. The on-hit damage seems to be the same, and the passive seems to be pretty much the same as well. So then we have Rapid Fire Cannon. It also got massive changes. It used to be 3000 gold, it's only 2600
Rapid Fire za 2.6.
right now. So it doesn't give you AD at all anymore. So similar to Phantom Dancer, but this one's
Reálně tady Rapid Fire se kupuje jenom kvůli té pasivce a to, že to je levnější o nějakých 500 goldů nebo 400 goldů, je hrozně huge, hrozně huge. Hrozně huge. Hrozně huge, je to hrozně huge.
still has crit. So
A dá ti to 25% krytu místo 20 prostě.
35% attack speed is
Kámo, prostě ty postavíš, ty budeš mít Dravena, který postaví Infinity Age first item, Blood Trister second item a Rapid Fire třetí item. A prostě čus, prohrál, dá ti one shot.
level 20, then you have 25 critical chance and 7% movement speed. So you basically lost 30 AD and you gained 15% attack speed. There's also a new item as a component of Rapid Fire Cannon, and this is Scout Slingshot. Damaging a champion deals an additional 40 magic damage, and attacks reduce this
No
cooldown
to je
by
Kisha Richarda v podstatě, hej.
1 second. So this is basically how Riot changed the energize system. And as you can see, the Scout Slingshot actually builds into Rune's Hurricane as well, and it builds into Static Shift as well. What's also worth noting about Rapid Fire Cannon
Bereš teď Clash ještě vážně, i když víš, že se dá sázet a lidi v tom můžou mít velký prachy? Ne. Beru to furt stejně.
is that despite the build path being changed and the Scout Slingshot being a component, when you build it, it seems that it still has the same passive. Static Shift no longer has critical strike, it has 50 AD and 40% attack speed. So Static Shift has lost the critical strike, but it got 10% extra attack speed. So Static
Useless.
Shift passive got completely changed. Right now when you
Useless!
kill the enemies, the Chain Lightning hits up to 6 targets. So let me show you right here. When you kill the target, you have the
Aha, počkej.
Static Shift Lightning, but it has 3 seconds cooldown, so you can probably proc it even more than you were before, because you don't need to energize it anymore. So this is a complete revamp of the energize mechanic that we have, but it only works on kill. But when you kill the champions, it does triple the damage and has no cooldown. Voltaic Cycle Sword also got changes because Cursor Shards got removed, so right now it builds off 2 long swords, but when you build it, it's still gonna be energized. So there are a lot of changes to the other items. For example, Navari Quick Blade, it doesn't have AD anymore, it's just attack speed, critical chance, and 7% movement speed. It's only 2600, but it still has the passive it had.
No teď ale můžeš postavit na Vory Flicker Blade a k tomu AI, nebo ne?
But you pretty much lost all AD. And it no longer has ability haste as well. Instead it has movement speed. But it's a pretty cheap item, so there is that. Infinity Edge, for example, right now it has 80 AD, not 60.
Můžeš? Nice. Takže teďka můžeš mít na Vory AI Infinity, čo? Unique Passive Unbound. Co to je Unbound?
That.
AI má Unbound? A má, no. Lol, nemůžeš. Unlucky.
Infinity Edge, for example, right now it has 80 AD, not 65 anymore. So a big boost to AD in Infinity Edge. Then the Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster no longer has critical strike, and it also has 88.
Jen škoda, že ten overheal scaluje, no, to je škoda. Ale overheal je mnohem víc OP, než ten shield bow, ta pičovinka, hej?
AD. Immortal Shield Bow also got pretty interesting changes. It has 5 AD more right now, it has 5% crit strike chance more, but it doesn't have lifesteal at all.
Useless item.
So it's basically AD, crit, and a shield item. So it's a completely different item than Bloodthirster. The other change that I noticed is that
To mohli rovnou removenout shield bow, hej?
Mercurial Scimitar doesn't
Jediný důvod, proč se nestavil QSS item na AD carryčkách a proč bylo QSS turbo useless, i přesto, že je QSS turbo OP, je protože ten item si musel vybrat, jestli budeš mít lifesteal nebo nebudeš mít lifesteal ve svém kitu. Teď to má lifesteal. Teď to má 10% lifesteal, ten item. Takže ty můžeš postavit Infinity Edge, Blood Trister, Rapid Fire, máš 50% crit, boty, LDR, máš 75% crit, a QSS, máš 75% crit, což je ideál, 100% je overkill, a máš QSS.
doesn't have the critical strike anymore, and it has 10% lifesteal instead, but the AD and magic resist remain the same. Then we also got changes to Momo of Mortius. It has 5 AD more, it has 10 magic resist less, but it also has 15 ability haste that it didn't have before. The lifeline passive also got changed. The shield lasts 3 seconds instead of 2.5 seconds, and it gives you 10% Omnivamp when it triggers, when the lifeline triggers. So it used to be 12% lifesteal, and right now it's going to be 10% Omnivamp.
Omnivamp je lepší, protože to je kurva. Omnivamp. Představ si třeba Zaju, jo? Když prokneš jí močko, tak všechny její spely, když ona dá Ečko za 2000 damage ve fightu, tak z toho dostane instantně 200 heal. Kvůli Omnivampu.
Until the end of the combat.
Franku,
It
díky za
seems
4.
that Essence River also got changed. It has 5 AD more, 5 ability haste more, and of course 5% crit strike more. It no longer has the
Useless
Shin
item.
attack, but it just has the basic attacks that give you mana on hit. But it is 3200, so it also got a little bit more expensive because it used to be 2900. The Collector got very little changes. The crit strike of course got adjusted. It has 1 lethality less and 5 AD more. So this is one of the items that didn't really get touched too much.
Draven, funguje Omnivamp přes Dravenque. Dravenque je lifesteal. Takže jako nepotřebuješ Omnivamp na Dravenque.
And of course the armor penetration items, Lord Dominic's Regards, it has 5 AD more, 5% armor penetration more, of course
40 armor pen. Let's go. 5% armor pen je huge, kámo. Tohle je starý Last Whisper. Tohle je starý Last Whisper. Kolik měl starý Last Whisper? On měl 45, ne? Armor pen procent a 40 AD, nebo něco takového. Úplně starý Season 2 Armor pen, ten Season 2 Last Whisper měl 45. Ještě 5%, friku, bráško, ještě 5%, tam to je ještě 5%. Ještě trošičku to baví.
Of course, the critical strike chance is also higher, but it no longer has the passive, the Giant Slayer, that gave you extra
To je
damage
jedno, tohle je 100krát lepší.
for the enemies with more maximum health than
5
you.
extra kitu, 5 armor penetration extra, to je huge.
And then the other Last Whisper item, Mortal Reminder, the stats remain pretty much the same, only
A proč tomu nezvednou ten armor penetration? What the fuck?
the crit strike got changed,
Nikdo nebude stavět tenhle item.
and the Grievous Wounds passive also remained the same.
Actually bude, protože 5% armor pen za 40% Grievous Wound je docela OP.
So this is one of the items that got almost untouched, you could say. So there are also changes to the summoner spells. Right now, Ghost lasts 13 seconds. It used to be 15 seconds, but it's going to be
Bráško, Ghost je OP, friku, jestli chceš nerfnout Ghost, tak tomu nenerfuj duration, ale ty vole movement speed.
13. So it is a pretty sizable nerf to the Ghost.
50% movement speed jako na 13 vteřin je hrabe vám, to je nejlepší summoner spell in the game.
We also got a big buff to Barrier. So it
Big buff to barrier, bráško, zase nepřehání.
used to be 105 to 411 damage, the shield, and right now it's going to be 120 to to 480. So this is like 10-15% buff, and it also lasts 2.5 seconds instead of 2 seconds. So maybe it can be a viable alternative to your heal summoner.
Ne,
So yeah, I
stejně budu
think
rád
this is
Ghost.
pretty much it. All of the biggest changes that are coming with this mid-season. I mean, just the items themselves are absolutely crazy. And remember, this is coming to the live servers in just 2 weeks. So you better be ready for it, because this is going to be absolutely crazy. Be sure to let me know in the comments what do you think about all the changes, what do you like, what do you not like, and be sure to try them out on the PB. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Nice. A ještě k tomu, když ten patch se, když už 4. týden, to ani není playoff, už se hraje na 14-10 patchu. Už 4. týden, ani ne playoff. Playoff se taky hraje na 14-10, to je huge, kámo.